Good evening, everyone. Before I get into the whole, you only have one life, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there, students, take a walk with me for one moment. Picture yourself in a classroom. The desks are all organized row by row. The teacher is explaining the lesson, and everyone is in a trance like zombies because it's 7 in the morning. You get the idea, right? But then suddenly the teacher says, "Class, we're going to have a seminar." And at first you think you heard them incorrectly because you absolutely hate seminars and are hoping you just imagine them saying that because of the whole zombie thing. But then they say seminar again. And now the panic begins to set in. Now, if you're an ordinary person, you're probably like, what's the big deal? It's just a seminar. But speaking for the average nervous and awkward high schooler, this is a big deal. Or I don't know, maybe it was just me, but at 15, it was scary to sit in a classroom and express your social and political ideas while everyone silently watched. It's not that you're shy, but rather you don't want to say anything wrong and bring attention to yourself. You're hoping that everyone will agree with you. So what do? You tell yourself to talk just 3 times in an entire 55-minute class. And if you don't, there's always tomorrow. But the thing is, what if we run out of tomorrows? What if all that build-up to finally take a stand was for nothing? This is the biggest issue facing our generation today. Because if we're too afraid to speak up in a classroom, how can we speak up to the entire world to make a difference? Sitting in this auditorium today, how many of you feel as though you could do a better job enacting change against global issues such as climate change or world hunger? Having said that, how many of you would actually walk out of these doors and start campaigning to make that change? Probably not a lot. And it makes sense because it's human nature to want to stay in our safe space, to not do things that might make us feel uncomfortable, like making ourselves heard and visible to the public eye. According to Crucial Learning, a company focused on improving learning experiences, out of 1,300 participants, 74% felt too scared to speak up about social and political issues. Instead of taking the chance and expressing oneself, people would rather hold themselves back by agreeing with people they don't really agree with, or simply staying silent. But the thing is, what we seem to forget is that we are the future. There is no one that can save us besides us. And believe it or not, most of us know this. But there is still a lack of faith in not only ourselves, but in the entire world that is holding us back. So we make up excuses to hide this internal fear, saying that even if we try to make change, no one will listen to us. Therefore, we shouldn't even try in the first place. Or that no matter what we do, there will always be things or people holding us back from achieving true change. We've already given up before we even tried. However, by holding ourselves back, we are turning a blind eye to the issues that desperately need our attention: homelessness, poverty, climate change, and so much more. We are hoping and praying that someone else will be brave enough to take the first step, while that someone else is hoping and praying that someone else will be brave enough to take the first step. And so we can either go back and rehash the past to figure out what put us in this position in the first place, or we can find ways to move past this barrier and start believing in ourselves more. Because if we don't, we're not only holding back the entire world from achieving their true potential, but we're holding back ourselves. And so we have to try. If we don't, who will? Now, this isn't meant to be a criticism of everyone because I'm just as guilty of it as well. In trying to protect myself from feelings of judgment and embarrassment, I have forgotten my duty as a citizen of not only this community, but the entire world to help the people around me. You and I are both part of this world, and so we have to look at the bigger picture. 150 million people are homeless. 244 million children don't have access to education. and 37.9 million people suffer from poverty. Now, this is the part where I start to lose some people because hearing these numbers can be so overwhelming. How can one person make such a difference? Well, if there's anything I want you to walk away with today, it's that something is better than nothing. If we all make an effort to make a smaller change, our combined efforts can lead to something so much greater than we can imagine. Therefore, we can't let fear stop us from doing the right thing. These numbers have meaning, and we can't turn our heads in the hopes that one day, someone like Iron Man will come and save the day. If there's anything we can learn from Iron Man, it's that it's an imperfect world, but it's the only one we've got. But all hypotheticals aside, it really doesn't take an Iron Man to achieve change. I personally have been volunteering at WHRHS Outreach for Homelessness and our very own Wagner Farms, where we work to provide food and critical supplies to help make the lives of those who are homeless be just a little bit better. By simply going out to meet people in need, we work to build trusting relationships so that we can not only provide supplies, but truly support them in getting off the streets and helping towns reach functional zero, a state in which no one is homeless. And the most amazing thing about this idea is that it's no longer a dream. We have actually reached functional zero in our very own Bergen County, New Jersey. So you see, everyone in this room has the potential to do something great for the world around us. All that is stopping that from happening is you. So speak up in your next seminar and don't be afraid of what other people might think. It's not too late, so take the first step. It can be as simple as volunteering at your local soup kitchen or donating supplies, dedicating a part of your day to taking care of your community, or taking a stand in social movements across the country. Choose to make a difference in the areas that are close to your heart or simply interest you. And the best part about this is that you don't have to do it alone. Invite your friends and family to also take part in these activities. My challenge to you is that even though there's a lot going on in the world right now, take a step out of your comfort zone to make a difference. Simply take the first step.